just taking a few cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And once you feel settled and kind of released from that, then just settle into a quiet breath and take 10 more on your own. So we're really just going to drop into our own spaces and into our own bodies and just feel anything out as you go. So you can begin as soon as you're ready. And feel that transition to a quiet breath. Notice the effect that it has on your body and mind. As you take these next few quiet breaths, allow your body to come into alignment. This is not about perfecting your posture, but just feeling your body naturally come into alignment through the spine, anchoring into your seat like the anchor of a boat. And everything above that anchor just floating above the surface. There's a natural sway from that anchor point, and that's fine, that's natural. And just notice the way in which you're breathing. Where is your body receiving the breath? Gently guide the breath to come into the belly, to fill up the heart space, all the way to the collarbones. And softly let the breath run back down. And at the end of that breath, gently drawing the belly in to press the last bit of air out. Bring attention to your belly, receiving these next few breaths. While being aware of your physical body, staying in a relaxed, anchored position. Gravity and your awareness helps anchor the physical body, while the breath helps anchor the mind. So now become aware of these two anchors and try to keep awareness on both of these anchors as you move through your practice. We'll move through different positions in the body, of course, but at any given point, there's something that's anchoring you. Usually the parts of you that touch the earth. Let's just begin to move into the wake up routine. You could keep your eyes soft or open them if you'd like, and just find K27 right below the collarbones. Begin to thump here on your chest, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Thymus thump for your immunity, middle of the sternum. Staying anchored. To the end of the spleen meridian on the sides of the ribs, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Move the thump towards the front of the ribs, in line with where you were tapping, but just beneath the breasts. And then tap back out to the side body as you complete that exhale. And one last tap right on the cheekbones to help ground. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And your out breath might sound or look a little different than mine, and that's fine. Find the breath that feels good for you, that helps release any stagnant air from the lungs, stagnant energy from the body. And if it feels good to you, you could tap all around the rim of the eyes, all around the bone of the eyes. Especially if there's any tender areas here, just give a little extra tap there. Help clear congestion and just move the energy through the body, through the energetic highway that runs from every fingertip and every toe and all through the body. Let's actually continue this tap here. Let's move the tap up to the center of the forehead. You can use both hands here. Just tap all over the forehead, coming onto the skull, and tap all over the head. Notice if there's any sore points here. You can tap on the temples, behind the ears. Tapping down the neck. I accidentally tapped my earbud and Siri said, "What's up?" Tap on the shoulders. And then tap down your back. So just along your spine. You can reach underneath now and as high as you can. Just tap along the spine, going all the way down towards the sacrum, the tailbone. Use your fists and tap on both of the glutes, the outsides of the legs. Open palm as you come onto your knees, and then bring your feet to the mat and just keep tapping here down the outsides of the legs, the toes, go up the inseam of the legs, and come back to your cross-legged seat as the hands tap up onto the belly, either using open palm or a light fist all over the belly. And then make your way back up to your chest, a little towards the outer part of the chest, over the lungs. Give a nice firm thump here, nice deep breath, clear out any stagnation. And then release from your tapping. Shake out the hands. Let the hands rest on the knees and take a moment of silence. Quiet breath, and just notice how you feel. Tune into any of the sensations. Begin to deepen the breath and just lightly slap same hand to knee or thigh. Exaggerate that motion a little bit. Reach all the way to the sky. Let the hand fall to the thigh. And then pause, shake out the arms and hands, come to cactus shape, breathe in. Exhale, opposite hand to thigh as you find a rhythm, crossing over the center of the body. A little hug in the low belly to protect the spine, and let your body flow in through the nose, out through the mouth. Drawing big figure 8 patterns through your field. You can again expand into this motion, maybe taking a little bigger arm circle. You can imagine you're swimming through your space. One more breath. Hands come in front of the pubic bone. Sit up nice and tall, anchor into your seat, set an intention for your Thursday. Just let a single word come up into your mind. Let it bubble from your depths. Soften the body here. You don't need to force anything. Just let this word arise. When you have that word, go ahead 3 times, zipping it up. Inhale, swipe the hand straight up the body, overhead. Exhale, press out into your field. In through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more times on your own. Sealing it in with the hook up, middle finger to the belly button and third eye. Press in, draw up, inhale. Out through the mouth. 2 more on your own. For the power of 3. body, mind, spirit. Beginning, middle, end. We see this 3 come up quite often in our lives. All right, release the hands to the knees. You can bat the eyes open if they've been closed. And inhale, sweep your arms overhead, Celtic Weave. Come right down the middle, just strengthening this field around you. Use your hands as like a soothing balm. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, twist to the left, Celtic Weave. So you're smoothing out any gaps, any tears in the field around you. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, twist to the right, Celtic Weave. Moving into your yogic breath, in and out through the nose. Inhale, arms come overhead, Celtic Weave, and come into a forward fold. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Take a nice big stretch here. If any movement feels good, feel free to take that, maybe in the neck or a little sway in the hips or spine. Anchoring into the nostril breathing, belly breathing. And walk your hands back to your legs. Come into a loose Baddha Konasana, just so you have room to reach your feet, and then clear the gates of your feet. So those are the spaces in between the long bones, and you can just use a finger to run it down and off the goalie in between each toe. Just giving kind of a little massage here. And then massaging each toe, pinching at the very tip, kind of like squeezing a little tube of toothpaste, which always gives me such a funny visual here. And then take your hands onto the base of your feet and just flip your palms forward, backwards over the base of your feet. It's helping to correct your polarity. Helping you to anchor once we come into the feet, helping you ground. And then bring your hands to the base of the big toe, bottom of the foot. We're going to trace up kidney meridian here. So slide your hands back towards the ankle bone, trace around the ankle bone, come up the inseam of the leg, straight up the body, give a little buzz underneath the collarbones. Breathe in and out. Lift your arms all the way overhead. Take a big morning stretch and flick your fingers up towards the sky. Exhaling, hands come down to the knees. Draw the knees together. Place the soles of the feet on the mat. Press the feet down, engaging your core. You can hold on to the knees here for a moment and find your balance point. Finding a baby boat pose. And then we're going to clear the gates of the hands from our boat pose. So releasing hands from knees, massage in between the long bones of the hands, coming off in the goalies between each finger. As you hold this pose, deepen your yogic breath and keep the feet grounded. Massage each finger, pinching at the very tip. Maybe feeling a little warmth start to come into the body, giving the body space for all of the meridian energy to flow through. So doing both sides on your own here. Try not to rush. You might think it'll get you out of boat pose sooner, but it's not. Good. Shake off your hands and then take your arms right in front of you. Take one breath in here. Exhale, reach your arms up. Sit as tall as you can. Try to keep the feet anchored. And then roll all the way down to your back. Use your core slowly, slowly. Lift your arms overhead. Take a full body stretch. Reach your legs out. Reach your arms. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rolling all the way back up. Inhale, lift your arms, peel the back off the mat. Sit up tall, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, take a gentle stretch forward, just tapping towards your toes. Inhale, lift your arms back up. Exhale, hands come behind you, bend the knees, reverse table. Press into your hands, gently lift the hips, let the shoulders roll open. Exhale, sit right into boat pose. Lift your legs this time, take your arms out wide. Good, extend the legs, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, roll all the way down to the mat. Extend the arms, breathe in and out. You can move a little in the ankles, the feet, hands, wrists as you come into this extended pose. And we'll roll it back up and do that same sequence. Inhale, arms overhead, peel the head, shoulders back off the mat, lift up overhead. Exhale, fold towards your toes. Inhale, lift back up, hands come behind you, reverse table, and lifting up the hips with your breath. Release, exhale, find your balance point, lift everything off the mat, boat pose, find that anchor in your boat. Good, extend the legs, breathe in, arms up. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, roll down to the mat, slowly, slowly. Arms reach overhead, taking a full breath here, morning stretch. Inhale, start to peel it back up. Arms lift overhead. Exhale, fold towards your toes. Inhale, lifting up, bend the knees, hands behind you as you exhale. And next inhale, reverse table. Exhale, boat pose. Hold it here. Cross your ankles, roll over your shins, plant the hands, and step into tabletop. Find your alignment, bump your hips a little side to side, and find a C curve with your spine. So let's hold the pose, hips bump to the right, gaze to your right, breathing in and out, full cycle of breath. Switch to the other side. Cow and cat, come through center, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, round it out. 2 more times, finding that power of 3. The power of 3 can be seen as kind of moving beyond duality, moving beyond right and wrong, yes and no. It gives you that third option. It gives you the creativity, the freedom, the space. Now sit back into a child's pose, and we're going to flow here with the breath, but take a moment to articulate in the body, hips to heels, arms extended, forehead anchored onto the mat. Oh, thank you. It remains a mystery why it happens. I'll pay attention to it. Okay, so from child's pose, we're going to come through table to child's pose 5 times here. So as you inhale, just slide the hands back gently, parallel the shins, look forward. Exhale, toes touch, extend the arms, child's pose. Just find this flow on your own. You can find the kind of sway through your spine. It's almost a cow-cat-like movement. Feel the body moving as a whole. There's not a piece of you that isn't integrated into this movement. Take your last one, coming through table, and then tuck your toes and find your downward facing dog. Take a moment to move if you need it, to stretch out the backs of the legs by pedaling the feet. And then again, moving with the breath, down dog to plank. Option to lower the knees as you come through plank. Breathe in forward. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Press the thighs back, heels down. on your own. Feeling nice, strong core, lifting you up from your center. It's almost the feeling of lifting an anchor out of the water, right? You come down, you anchor in your plank, and then you pick that anchor back up through your hips. There's a little resistance. Next time you come forward to plank, lower all the way down to the mat through knees, chest, chin. Slide the hips down to the mat, extend out through the toes, baby cobra. We're gonna hold here for 3 breaths. Engage your legs strongly. Feel the space between shoulders and ears. Glutes engaged. Lower down into crocodile or triple warmer rock. Let the hips rock a little side to sides. Pause the movement. Take a pause before moving on and just take a little check-in here. How are you feeling after this bit of movement this morning? Take a moment to remind yourself of your mantra or intention. Then bring your hands back under your shoulders, pressing up through tabletop, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky, left leg is anchored. Step through between the hands, low lunge, lower the back knee, left hand stays down, right arm twist to the sky. Circle your wrist at the top, switch directions. And then circle the whole arm. 3 circles in one direction. Connect your gaze to the hand, feeling the whole body involved in the posture. Switch direction of your circles. Keeping the feet nice and anchored. So you have 2 anchors here, that back knee and front foot. Also the left hand. And then open up into your twist one more time here. Breathe in, nice big stretch. Exhale, Celtic Weave. Run your right hand through the right side space until you come down and frame the foot. Shift your hips back to a half splits, lifting the front toes, straightening the front leg. Flowing in and out of this posture, come forward to low plank. And if you have blocks, it might be helpful to use blocks here. To half splits. And just one more time. Low runner's lunge. And back to half splits. I think I just said plank earlier. I meant low lunge. All right, find your low lunge. Plant your palms, lift the back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, breathe. Grounding the heels, the palms. Anchor into your right foot. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Try to keep the hips square. Step through between the hands, low runner's lunge. Right hand stays down. Inhale, left arm comes up. Circle your wrist 3 times one direction. Switch. Circling through the arm, 3 big circles in one direction. Coordinating your movement with your breath. Switch the direction, 3 more in the other way. Really take a moment to feel that shoulder opening, the chest opening. And then when your arm comes back overhead, take a big stretch here, press into your bottom arm, lift up. Exhale, Celtic Weave through the left side space. Draw big figure 8s. Framing the front foot, tuck the toe, lift the knee, downward facing dog. Your sits bones turning up towards the sky. Lengthening the backs of the legs.
letting the heels reach down and press back through your thighs. Take a walk to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Reach the arms around the back. You can bend your knees here, and then lift your arms overhead, releasing through the shoulder girdle. If it feels good, you might move your head a little bit or sway a little side to side, grounding through your feet and anchoring in the breath. Release the hands to the lower back, right behind the belly button, mid-man point. Begin to circle on the lower back, flattening the hands. Lift your head and shoulders, open your chest, circle your hands in the other direction, penetrating flow. Stand all the way up, pause the circles, dip down towards your sacrum and up and over the hips to your hip flexors. Flip your palms forward, backwards, opening up this energetic area, and then slide your hands straight up and around the body, cupping around the mouth, 3 audible breaths. Hands come down to the heart, one over the other. Take a moment, turning inwards. Notice how you let your hands rest here. Is there pressure or force into the body, and can you soften your grip? Lay a soft hand on your own body, the same as you might on someone's shoulder or back that needs a tender energy. And let your hands come down to the sides, Tadasana. Yin-yang meridian clear. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Right hand comes over top of the left. Slide down the backs of the arms. So you're tracing down the back side of the body here, down the shoulder blades, cross over at the belly, and down the outsides of the legs, off the pinky toe. Trace up the inseam of the legs, right up that spleen line. Coming up to the shoulders and down to the ribs. Give a little buzz. And then switch sides. Inhale, arms up. Left hand comes over the back of the right arm. Slide down the backs of the arms. Shoulders cross at the belly. Down the legs. Off the toes. Come up the inseam. Breathing in. Come up to spleen. Down to the side body. Give a little buzz. Shake off the hands. Bring the hands to the iliocecal crest, the hip crest here for iliocecal Houston valve clear. Breathe in and press into the body, dragging the fingers up to the ribs. Exhale, shake off the hands. 2 more times from the bottom, dragging up. Shaking her off. 1 more time. Now start under the ribs, press in, breathe in. Exhale, slide the hands down, 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 and shake it off. Bring your hands up overhead, Celtic Weave, bringing the hands to the heart. Palms together, Anjali Mudra, connecting heaven and earth. Bend the knees, inhale, split the palms, 1 to the heaven, 1 to the earth. Hold the breath for a moment. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms, other side. Exhale, come back to center. 1 more time each way. Inhale, first side, press through the heels of the hands. Center, anchor. 1 more time, other side, breathe in, nice big side body stretch. And this time, exhale, slide that top hand all the way down into a forward fold, kind of like you're diving down. Take a fold here, let the body sway side to side. Pause the side to side movement, shake your head, yes. Forward, backwards. And then
pause that movement and start to tumble your hands, roll your hands one over the other, bend the knees as you come up, rolling energy right into your chakras as you rise. Feel it feeding in as you lift the arms overhead, heaven rushing in, split the arms, engage the legs, inviting in whatever will help you move through this day. Inviting it in with gratitude, just such a powerful energy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then weave your hands, Celtic Weave, drawing that right into your heart. Rest your hands in Anjali Mudra. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, Celtic Weave all the way down this time, forward fold. Bend the knees, moving into the 5-element flow, starting in water, one hand around the knees, one hand on the mat. The sound for water is WHO. So inhaling, gaze down. Exhale, breathe forward and out. 2 more times, transforming fear into courage. This is called blowing out the candle. Having the courage to move through the dark, to move through the unknown. Release the hand from the leg, come into your forward fold, moving into wood. The sound for wood is SH. It's expelling the venom. It's called this because anger is like a venom in your body. Anger is super destabilizing, and so we want to throw that out. Start by weeding your garden here, pulling up the junk, the stuff that makes you really angry, the technology stuff, the family stuff, or whatever it is. Hold on to that with your hands. Make fists. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, and exhale, throw it down. Shh. Do that 2 more times. Grab the junk, reach up overhead, recycling it as you throw it down. Shh. 1 more. Shh. Then 1 time slowly, grab up the biggest thing that might make you angry or any feeling of anger. Reach your arms overhead and press it down. Shh. You can stay standing this time. Just press the hands down. Moving into fire. Come into Tadasana. The sound for fire is Ha, H-A-A. And it's called bringing down the flame. So any anxiety, any of those mental disturbances, we want to bring that flame down into the belly where we can seat that heat, seat that fire, and transform the anxiety. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, finger pads touch, H-A sound, thumbs to the crown. Sweep the arms out and around, thumbs coming to the third eye. Sweeping out and around, thumbs coming to the heart. Out and around, thumbs coming to the belly button. Flatten the hands on the low belly. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale, slide your hands down and off the legs. Exhale, trace up spleen. It's reverse breath. Ground your hands on your thighs. Take an equal breath here, right in the middle. Grounding yourself. As you move into the earth element, feeding yourself all the love. Wrap your hands around the side body, holding on to those spleen points, and start to rock side to side. Cradling the baby. Your sound here is your Ujjayi breath, or you could hum. You could find a little
audible exhale with a vibration in the back of the throat. So see which one of those feels better to you. And then inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Hold the breath in for a moment as you draw down whatever it is that you could use today, what you need. Then exhaling, trace the hands behind the ears, calming the nervous system. Inhale, reach your arms out and wide, and exhale, fold, stepping onto the hands. Anchor your hands under your feet, right? Feel the weight of the anchor. Inhale, pull up and away from the arms. Exhale, refold. Let the head go. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. It's like you're trying to pull out of your skin almost. Inhale, pulling up. And exhale, refold. Take the hands out from under the feet. Inhale, trace all the way up spleen, coming up the inseam, just helping integrate everything. Ground the hands on the thighs and move into the final element of metal. The sound is S, helping to let go and transform the wisdom that you learn from the past into bringing that into the next cycle. So you're going to open your arms wide and down, and as you take these back bends, engage the legs. Take a nice big breath in. Exhale, S sound, hugging around a big tree. Coming up a little higher at the height of the heart, back bend, engage the legs. Exhale, S sound, hugging around a big tree. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, S sound as you slide down the backs of the arms. Keep it going as you land your hands on the upper chest. Take 2 more breaths. Releasing grief from the lungs. Pause in Tadasana. Take a moment to turn inwards. Notice how you feel. Take note of any of those sounds or movements that felt especially helpful for you today. Remember that you can practice any of those sounds at any time of day. You can take little pieces of that flow and use them as they feel good to you or feel helpful. If you feel yourself moving into fear, take that breath. Let your chin drop towards your chest as you do that, and as you exhale, blow out. You can find a simpler version of this flow. If you find yourself moving into anger, expel the venom. If you find yourself moving into panic or anxiety, visualize that flame being seeded into your belly. Maybe you just plant your hands on the low belly and take a ha breath, releasing tension from the heart. If you feel yourself giving too much to others and needing to tend to yourself, literally give yourself a hug and take a few ujjayi breaths. And finally, if you feel that you're having a hard time letting something go, if there's grief, if you feel like you're ready to move into a new cycle but you're stuck, use that S sound. You could tap or just hold over the lungs. You can find a seated or standing back bend. Anything to help open the body and let it go. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. If the eyes are closed, you can bat them open here. exhale, Celtic Weave, coming all the way down. Come to sit on your mat. Cobbler's pose, feet together, knees apart. Letting the hands rest on the down slope of the big toe, and the thumbs right behind the ankle bone. Kidney, spleen, source points. You can take a gentle fold here, just kind of leaning in. Tune into a quiet yogic breath, relaxing the cheeks, the jaw, the eyes. So even though the face is relaxed, I'll encourage you to keep the eyes open right now. Just letting the light of the day start to seep in. See if you can tune into the pulse coming in beneath the fingers. And now that you've been here for a few breaths, see if you can fold a little more from the hips, not by force, but just allowing the torso to fold. Press up. Bring the hands to the outsides of the knees, draw the legs together, and roll yourself down to the mat. Use a nice strong core, slowly, slowly. When you get down to the mat, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug, a little rock side to side. Anchor both feet into the mat for a moving bridge, hands by your side. Inhale, lift the hips, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, lower hips, lower hands. 4 more on your own. Find the coordination in your body and with your breath. And remember your 2 anchors. The anchor through the body, the anchor in the breath. Really energizing breaths here, nourishing breaths. Now take a moment, let your knees rest against one another, constructive rest, feet go a little further apart, and intuitively massage the body. Use your finger pads and just massage any of the neurolymphatic points. If you know them, you can do them consciously. I'll call out a few that you might want to massage, but I think intuitively you really can get the points anyways, just rubbing hands over the body, finding where there's anything that feels stuck or stagnant and helping to move that energy. If there's any digestive issues, you might want to massage the inner and outer seams of the legs. If you're tending towards constipation, move from the hips to the knee, right? A downward motion. And if you tend towards having a loose movement, then you go from knee to hip. So it's that bringing it up. So you help your body find balance in the way you massage here. You can massage all around the belly. You can even find those points associated with the 5 elements. The bottom right hip being water. The right waist being wood. Right in between the ribs, fire. Left waist, earth. Left hip crease, metal. You massage the arms, the chest, all around the breast. And then one more time, let's come into bridge pose. We'll hold it this time. Shake off your hands, let them come by your sides. Inhale, lift your hips, making an exit ramp for anything you broke loose through your practice, through that massage. Take 3 full breaths here. Thighs stay parallel, feet are really anchored all the way into the muck, right? You get all the way to the bottom of the lake with those anchors. And then release your hips down to the mat. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug and a rock side to side. Bring the feet back to the mat, arms to a T. Bump your right hip to the center, draw your knees towards your chest, and roll to the right to your twist. Option to extend the left leg and hold behind the knee. Option to gaze towards the left arm. Just 3 breaths here, nourishing, revitalizing breaths. Intention is so much of the practice. It's where your attention is where your energy is going. So what is it that you focus on today? What is your intention? What's your intention just in this moment as you start to close your practice? Release from the twist on this side, coming back to center and realigning the spine. And then go the other way. Left hip to the center of the mat, knees draw in, roll to the left. Option to extend the right leg and hold behind the knee. Maybe you gaze to the right, 3 full breaths. The best intentions are so simple. And what I've been finding is my intention is often the same thing day after day. It tends towards moving from a place of love, compassion, balance, peace. Sometimes more specific, but a lot of times just moving from these core attitudes that help me align with what feels good to me. So don't pressure yourself to find some crazy intention. Let's start to come out of the pose, rebend the knee, come back to center. And then bring your feet together, knees apart. Bring the hands behind the head, cradling the head. Thumbs rest at the base of the skull. Just find a nice open position here. The feet do not have to be super close to the pelvis, so find the space that feels good to you. You might wiggle those feet out a little further from the body. And if it feels good to you also, you can massage the ridge of the skull. Especially if it feels tender here, you might want to give that a nice massage. And then you can just let your thumbs rest on either side of the ropey tendon of the neck into the main electric points. You don't have to press, you can just let the thumbs plug in. Allowing your whole body to float here. Bring into your mind, bring a feeling into your body that the anchor is holding you, but the rest of the body is like the boat, just floating above the water. Taking in all the nourishment. Maybe you're in the ocean, soaking up the salt water, soaking up the sun. Water is a super important element for this life, for our life, being made up of majority of water. Get connected to that natural flow. Are there any other areas that you can soften, relax, help you to float a little lighter?
And then press into the electric points beneath the head one more time before you release. Then slide the hands down, resting the left hand on the heart. Slowly draw your knees together and anchor into the soles of the feet. Let your right hand drift across the rest of the body, finding a place to anchor into your heart energy. So here, your left hand is the anchor into your heart, into this powerful electrical energy. The right hand is like the other part of a jumper cable connecting to that. So just intuitively, let the right hand find a spot. Don't question it. Don't be fearful of where it lands. Just trust that your body knows how to heal and what's important now. And if you'd like, you could extend your legs into Shavasana. Either keeping the hands as they are or letting them come to any comfortable position. Take the last couple of minutes to practice silence. Your eyes could be open or closed. Relax the muscles of the face. The neck, the jaw. If there's any tension in the throat, imagine that tension moving down the arms, out the fingers, into the earth as you exhale. And keep dropping deep into your body, into your inner world. I believe that most, if not all, people are coming to yoga practice to find a sense of inner stillness, like a calm lake, a calm energy, less stressed, less chaotic. Most of us come to this practice, at least in part, to find that inner calm. So I invite you to experience that here. It is available. And what we learn in yoga is that we're not bringing in really anything new. We don't need anything from the outside of us to feel that calm. But what we do is we remove the obstacles. We look to ease the tension. Most of the time, not all of the time, we're our own biggest obstacle. Give yourself permission to find stillness. And feel that sinking in at the deepest level of your being. Feel that stillness in your cells.
begin to slowly deepen your breath. Invite some movement into the body. Maintaining a sense of calm even as the movement comes back in. A more organized, harmonious movement. Take a stretch if that feels good, waking yourself back up. And when you're ready, bend your knees, roll over to your side, and press up to a cross-legged seat. Back to Sukhasana, where we began. Ask yourself here, answer for yourself. How do you feel in this moment, right now? How do you feel? Let's seal in our practice together. Bring your palms to touch. Cultivating an attitude of gratitude as you move into the rest of this day, into the rest of your week, for whatever comes your way. Find gratitude in your ability to transform and work with your own energy, with your own body, with your own breath, with others, and within this world. Seal it in, bowing in towards yourself, to one another, to the whole. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed your practice this morning and a nice flowing day. You're welcome.